Welcome to Conversations with Gen Z. I am your host, Nanette, and this is where we chat, listen, and reflect on the wisdom that Gen Z has to offer us. Today, I have a very, very special guest, and I would love for him to introduce himself. Can you go ahead and tell the audience about yourself, your name, and
Yes.
just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm Avery Tillett. I'm 16 years old, and my favorite food is pizza.
All right, thank you for coming on today and being willing to have a conversation with me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a blessing. So, can you tell the audience, what was your childhood like?
So my childhood, growing up with my siblings and stuff, it's just been us and my
Who's
mom.
us? Can you tell me?
Like us. Us is my siblings.
How many siblings do you have?
I have my older brother. He's 23. I have my sister, 18 now, and me. Also my younger brother now. He's 6 years old now. But it's just been mainly me and my mom and the rest of my siblings and stuff growing up. So like we never really had like a real connection with my father and stuff.
Okay.
So like I don't know.
How has that affected you? How do you feel that has affected you in life?
Well, not having the male presence is like, it doesn't really like feel good. Like I don't know, I all of a sudden I feel kind of emotional about it.
Yeah.
I think it's cause I'm thinking about my siblings and stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's tough.
The disconnection and stuff,
Yeah. Do you feel like you're disconnected from your siblings?
See, I'm not even an emotional person,
Yeah, no,
but
it's okay.
but it's my family,
Yeah, you love them. So do you feel like the disconnection is you and your siblings, or you and your mom? What do you think?
Yeah.
It's coming from, this emotion's coming from?
So like I think about my mom, I think about my mom, and it's like it was the hardest for her because this had all happened when I was like, I don't know, 2, maybe even younger.
Oh, okay.
And like we actually have seen him multiple times. So as we've grown up, we would like see him every other week,
Okay, yeah.
We'd see him every other week, and basically when we'd see him, you know how you try to connect with somebody that doesn't really, it doesn't feel like the
It's
feelings are being reciprocated. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah, basically that's how it feel every time when we'd
So you did have a relationship with him.
we did have a relationship, but it was still disconnected. It wasn't there, and now he's fully not here. He moved, and so it just was a whole hassle with that. So,
So do you feel like it affects you more than any of your siblings, or do you feel like it affects all of you in different ways?
I feel like I feel like it definitely affects all of us in some way because, obviously with my my newest brother, he's the I used to be the youngest, right?
Yeah.
For the longest time, but now he's 6 and I'm 16, so it's been like 10 years,
Yeah.
So with his dad, my stepdad, it's been good with that, but then it still has been like kind of on and off with that even, about that. Like I can't really fully connect the way I could with my real father.
Right.
Even, like it's just like basically the same thing, So it's just a similar thing. So I think the rest of my siblings feel the same way.
Right.
Other than of course my younger brother, like he's still young. He doesn't have
that experience.
Yeah, because he has both his father and mother,
Yeah.
blood related.
So it sounds to me like, from what you're saying, 2 parents are important. Right?
Yeah, 2 parents
Fathers
is important.
are important. What advice would you give to maybe parents who are maybe struggling in their marriage and they have kids? Would you say, is it wise for them to stay in the marriage for their kids, just work on their marriage? What's your advice? Because you've lived what it feels like to not have a dad in your life, or connecting. What would you say?
Yeah. So there's one thing I will say about that. Mm-hmm. So, like, I think it is important to be together, right? Mm-hmm. In this, because you both, you know, this is your child, right? But on the other hand, it's like, you know, you have this relationship, but if it's not working, then over time, like you keep giving people time, you know, and they still take advantage, or like they just don't reciprocate feelings or something, then I think it's still okay as long as the feelings are still there for your children.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So are you saying, like, if the parents did separate or something?
Yeah, if they did separate, they should still do the job as a parent. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that doesn't change. It doesn't change that, you know. Because at least they're still their child, you know.
Right. Exactly. So just because you may not be together, as parents, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to let go of your responsibilities as a mother or a father.
Absolutely.
Okay, and you feel like that's what happened? That's what happened.
That's basically, yeah, that is what happened, yeah.
And then it affects you. So what are some consequences when parents do neglect their job as a mother or a father? What do you see maybe with yourself or with your siblings or even friends that may only have one parent in the home? How does this, I need parents to understand how this affects their kids, or how it can affect them.
See, an easy way to say that is like, so you know, like when you have two genders in your family, right? And as the siblings, right? Like like my sister and me, right? Okay. If it was just me and my sister and my dad stayed, she would probably not act as feminine. But if my mom stayed, then and obviously my mom did stay, right? So it's just me and my sister. Say it's just me and my sister, and like I could get that way, but that's never what happened. That's never happened because, like, I mean, I don't know. I've just had other influences from other male influences, so it just kind of brushed off. But you know, that's what could happen in some families where like the femininity and the masculinity is just like out the door once they're gone, you know, because you don't have that influence anymore, you know.
So so what it sounds like you're saying is, if one parent is absent and you're being raised by, say, the mother, that could be like the dominant feature that goes into both children. Definitely. If there's not another male presence, if the male is absent, or female presence if the female was absent.
Because I've always had my uncles, you know, I've always had my other family and stuff, so it's always been cool with that, you know, because at least they had their dads and they were still around, you know.
Yeah. So it sounds like also what you're saying is, say for instance someone is a single parent, parents should be intentional about having that other. So if a dad's raising their children, he should be intentional about maybe having female influences in his children's lives. Or obviously the mom should be present. Right. But if she's not, or you know, what if they die? You know what I'm saying? The parents need to be intentional about putting that other gender in their lives. Is that what you're saying? Yeah,
because she can't do both. She's not a male. She doesn't understand the things that I understand.
Yeah.
At full capacity, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So she can't ever know like that. Yeah, you know, that's why it's different.
It's funny that you say that, because I just realized that this year I have 6 kids, 2 teenage boys right now, and I realized we used to be tight like this all their lives. Now at 14 and 15, I'm seeing I cannot raise my boys to be men. I can mother them, but I cannot father them. And I've noticed they used to listen to me so well, and now they like try to challenge me. And I'm strong. I'm not a punk. I'm not a weak parent. But I've had to actually default and go, their dad, Rod, you need to take care of this, because I just seen something switched in them. They don't listen to me like they listen to their dad. It's so strange.
They're just, as they grow up, you know, like teenagers, like I've also had the same problem with like being disrespectful or like some type of, always there's been some type of problem always in there, but it's stopped faster when a male is there. You know what I'm saying? Like because I would be scared of my dad. Like when I'm over at his house. You know, like I'd be scared. So
there's things you would do with your mom that you wouldn't even.
That I wouldn't even. Yeah,
dad.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great point.
Interesting, and it reminds me of, we've talked about this before the show, when my one son was just acting a fool, just so disrespectful. Like I would say, like, life is not YouTube. You can't just talk to me crazy. But he was, and I was just so shocked because I didn't raise him like this.
Right.
And when I had a conversation with his jiu-jitsu coach, the jiu-jitsu coach pulled him out of class and had a talk with him, and that like put so much fear in him, in a positive way, of course. And he says that it's because of that conversation why, and the jiu-jitsu coach even prayed with him.
Right.
After that interaction, it really changed him and made him want to please the coach almost.
So his jiu-jitsu coach is also a Christian.
Yes.
So that's even better. That's even better.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And it's weird because he was kind of disrespectful to my husband too, his dad. But for some reason, this man whom I guess he respects, when he called him out, it really like influenced him. It really,
it was just that snap
him.
That
it did. And then he asked me, Mom, aren't I doing better since that? And I was like, you actually are. So he said that really impacted him for some reason. Something that I'm still trying to wrap my head around. Like, wow, look at the difference between male and female, and how is it this me, mom, who's been there from day one, who's been caring for you and loving you, you can, be so disrespectful to me, but this man who you've only known for a few years checks you and you're like straightening up and you're thinking about, because he said, I'm going to be talking to your mom again and finding out how you're acting. And for some reason, that matters to him.
See, and I love how you brought that point up, because that's exactly my situation with me and my mom. Like, I've had the same thing happen to me before. Like, I've been better now. Like, there's been a long time of us just like not clashing, not clashing. We're not mad at each other, none of that. So I have my sensei, he's a Taekwondo coach, right? And it's just been great ever since like she brought up my issues with him, that presence, like I straightened up too. Like, so that's exactly the same thing. Like we've had the same, that's very similar in a way.
So parents need to realize, especially I think in raising teenage boys, I hear the saying, it takes a village. That's not my favorite saying in this world, but I actually see how it's important to have outside influences, because sometimes the parent isn't enough. Sometimes we do need that outside voice or that outside influence to speak into our children. Because what happened with my son and what happened to you, it sounds like this is something parents need to tap into. Sometimes I think parents are embarrassed, or they look around, they think, oh, these kids are good. Why is my kid like that? So they may not say anything. But your mom had the wisdom to say, you know what, I'm going to talk to Avery Sensei.
See, and there's another thing though. It's good to have a mentor, right? It's good to find other mentors for your child. But you want to make sure that they're not acting more of the parent than the parent themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
because I feel like some people, they're always looking for the next daycare. They're looking for the next school that's like very good for the teachers are really like parental.
They want the teachers to do the job of the parent.
It's want
still
them
the
to do
parent's
that.
job, but you're saying like, go ahead and find a mentor, seek someone that your kid could talk to or whatever, but don't try to push them off on the mentor. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying, because some people they'll be more connected with their teachers than they'll be with their own moms or own fathers,
So we as parents have to be careful not to just push our kid like, this child has a problem, you take care of them, like fix them.
If you care about them, then yes.
Yeah, that's not how we do it. We want this influence, but we're not saying you fix them. You're saying speak into my child's life, encourage them, talk to them, be a safe place. But
Absolutely.
you're still the parent, or I'm still the parent, and it's still my the child is my responsibility, not everybody out there's responsibility. So we have to be careful with that.
That's right.
That's
right.
great wisdom. Very good wisdom.
Thank you.